and I'll get the entire. You don't have to be a
No,
fucking
shut
sub.
the fuck up, Grandma! I'll drop kick your own ass in your teeth!
Here we go. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. All right, man. Let's talk about okay. Let's talk about ArcheAge. Let's talk about ArcheAge. Okay? We need to talk about this game. ArcheAge was my breakthrough game. ArcheAge helped make this channel. It did. I peaked my subscriber count. Everything was great with ArcheAge. However, there were some issues with the game that caused me to leave. There was some... oh, hold on. There were some issues with ArcheAge, and there were some issues with me. The game became too serious for me. The politics, the guild drama, the personal anger that people had towards me and I had towards them, I really let the game get to me. And so I left ArcheAge. Now, patch 1.7 is a huge patch for ArcheAge. It's huge. A lot of people that I know are coming back or considering coming back because of patch 1.7. Now, I left ArcheAge primarily because I felt that Tryon and XL Games didn't quite have a good grip on what ArcheAge was and what it needed to be. There were several groundbreaking decisions that were made that little by little kind of like, okay? The Aurora, pushing Aurora back and not launching it with the rest of with the game at the beginning. And then the Aurora launch itself was really, really bad. The decision to implement things in the cash shop without fixing some of the things that were wrong with the game fundamentally. The big debacle, the big thing that was an issue was the Archeum drops. Archeum, there are different Archeum dust and all that stuff that's needed to craft high-end gear. The drop rate has always been abysmally low. However, they implemented things in the cash shop that you could purchase to kind of increase your, increase your Archeum for money. Then there was the notorious Apex bug that people used to gain exorbitant amounts of money. Now, I'm told that a lot of these issues have been fixed. I don't know that for sure. So what I'm asking is if you've been playing ArcheAge since I've left, or if you've been playing ArcheAge at all, and you can speak intelligently on the game and what's changed, what 1.7 is bringing, what it's not, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you right now. All right? Jump on my TeamSpeak server. My entire community will greatly appreciate it. And talk to me. Now, at its core, and I've said this from the beginning, I've talked a lot of shit about ArcheAge. I've always, however, backed that up with, at its core, ArcheAge is an amazing fucking game. Okay? Open world PvP. Let's not forget Halcyona. Let's not forget Hasla. Let's not forget Friedich. Let's not forget the fucking Gathering. Let's not forget the crafting. Let's not forget the diverse class system. Okay? Let's not forget, you know what I'm saying, the fact that this game is absolutely fucking incredible. But are there still pay to win aspects of this game? And that is what I want to know. Tonight, I'm on my level 1. Tonight, we start from scratch. Okay? I'm on Olo, West, and I'm probably going to go human or whatever the fuck. Okay? I'm going to show the game from scratch. I do have a level 50 ready to go to show you guys the grind from level 50 to level 55 and then the end game from there. So we are going to bring a lot of people on down. We're going to bring people, we're going to bring TT6. Now, TT6, I know that a lot of people have beef with TT6. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've always had a soft spot for those guys. I've never talked shit about TT6. They've never talked shit about me. Even as they were blocking the fucking bridge in Marianople or whatever the fuck they did. You know, it's always been fun with those guys. I feel like they brought some good life to the server. And I want to give a big shout out to TT6 because they're here on TeamSpeak ready to help me with some questions and things like that. So, I want to first start off by thanking everybody that's in this channel on TeamSpeak. TT6, you know, I'm sure you probably heard me on stream just now. You guys are fucking hilarious, okay? You're the biggest fucking clowns I ever met in an MMO. And even though we've never really been like on the same side in terms of guild politics, it's always been fun, laughter, and GGs with you guys. So, you know, thank you so much for joining me and helping me learn about ArcheAge. I want to give it a fair shake of the stick. I don't want to judge. You know, I know 1.7 is fucking humongozoid right now. But I do have some questions, and I'm hoping you guys can help me out. So, you know, again, thank you so much. Let me just load up the game and fucking we'll get started here. Now, while I'm loading up the game, if you guys don't mind, TT6, any one of you, you know, I want to hear from your mouth, where did ArcheAge and XL Games go wrong with this game? I think we can all agree, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in a minute, I think we can all agree that ArcheAge should be in a better place right now. It should certainly be one of the top MMOs played, but it has driven people away. Give me some examples of the mistakes that they've made that you feel have turned people away from the game, you know, since the beginning or you know, whatever.
It took like 4 months for them to fix the economy and stop gold selling and gold buying.
Okay. Keep it coming, guys. You can all speak. Everybody's open to speak here. Everybody in the channel, feel free.
Yeah, just elaborating on that, like, for way too long, the prices of Dauphined weapons were 40 to 50k, which is outrageous. You can't make that as a player. Like, the only way to gear up an ArcheAge was go get a real-life job and pay to win. And it took them way too long to fix it, and that definitely destroyed a lot of people's will to play the game. I think that was their biggest mess up.
Okay, so that was the biggest one. Now, I talked about, you know, the Aurora pushback. I talked about the Aurora launch being really fucked up. We all experienced that. It was pretty bad. The Apex bug that happened. Now, I'm told that, wow, a lot of old school players coming back into the channel. I just want to give a big shout out to all of you people, all of my former guildies and old friends. What's up, guys? So we talked about, you know, a lot of the mistakes. My biggest beef with ArcheAge, or Tryon specifically, was, you know, the Archeum, right? Archeum was always an issue with the game. The drop rates were too low. They kept telling us they were going to fix them, but yet they would, instead of fixing it, they would introduce cash shop items. Do you guys feel like that was a major issue with the game?
Definitely. It's supposed to be getting fixed on Tuesday. With what they showed on the live stream, it looks like they're finally going to be able to do that with being able to transform other Archeum into the Archeum you want.
Right, so if you have a ton of Starlight, you can actually change that at a rate into Sunlight or Moonlight.
So I've got a question for you guys, since you've been playing for a long time. When did they take out the labor point requirement to identify gear?
That was quite a while ago, honestly.
What have we
I
got
don't remember
here?
exactly,
Fucking
but
comedian.
it's definitely not too recent.
Okay, now I don't want to get too engulfed in. We're gonna ask them questions in a little bit as a group. But let me get some things out of the way first. Now, talk to me, TT6, about the population. I'm hearing that there are people playing. I hear that Olo was still one of the top PvP servers in the game. I'm hearing that the East is dominating, which of course, you know, I'm rubbing my grubby little fucking paws on with going West. What is the status of the server in your opinion right now?
That's definitely accurate.
Yeah, there's a gigantic alliance right now that just kind of controls everything by sheer numbers. TT6 was kind of, you know, one of the founding guilds of that, but we've strayed away from that alliance since then. I believe it's around six or seven guilds just circle jerking world bosses.
And on top of that, most of the East that get along are also working with the pirate faction. So this is quite a bit to take in when you thinking about basically what is the new Halcyona that's going to share the Halcyona tokens. It's going to be faction versus faction versus faction, and it would not surprise me to see them basically wipe out the West first.
Okay, so plenty of politics, plenty of drama. The
Oh, yeah.
East is dominating. That sounds great. All right, that sounds good there. Now, what keeps you guys playing? What keeps you playing? Is it they're making positive changes, or is it the friendships that you've made in the MMO? Because I've experienced both of those as an MMO player, but I want to know what's keeping you guys playing TT6, or anybody in the channel that's a veteran of the game.
There's a mix of both. One of the things that they're doing is they're catching us up very rapidly to Korea, so that the changes that we're bitching to Tryon to make, they can't make until they're all on one common version with Korea. So once we get caught up with Korea, it's not too far on the horizon. We're going into 1.7a and then 1.7b, then 1.8, and then we'll be pretty much right there. And we'll be able to get a lot more things that are more tailored to how the American market is versus the Korean market, which is one. But obviously, yeah, friendships you make in any MMO is going to keep you around.
And going off that, like, their excuse for, I don't know, since September of why they can't do what we want is because they can't make changes to patches already in Korea. They can't change it. So it's going to be a big telling factor once we're caught up to Korea. If we still don't get what, everyone seems to want, that they just are never going to learn.
I got you. Because I mean, whether you may or may not know this, I've been talking shit about this game ever since I left. I've been very, very vocal and incredibly salty about ArcheAge, to the point where I'm probably looking like a huge fucking hypocrite to some of my community. And I have to swallow that because I'm so desperate for open world PvP right now, both as a streamer, because I feel like that's where I shine, but just as an MMO gamer. Crowfall is a ways away, Camelot Unchained a ways away, Star Citizen a ways away. These are games I'm hoping that will re-energize, the PvP MMO, genre and give us, that. I'm so desperate for open world PvP. Guild Wars 2 is amazing and I love it. It gives me the world versus world and the structured PvP. But there is something about just going out and not knowing what you're going to run into on the open ocean of ArcheAge. I miss the naval combat. I miss gliding and dropping on top of fucking people. I mean, I do miss ArcheAge, the game. Now, my next question is, what is 1.7 bringing to the game? I know it's a lot, and those patch notes give me a headache and make me want to slap my wife. But can you give me, the cliff notes, the juicy? What is 1.7 bringing to the game?
It'll be easier to level to 55 from 50. That's one thing. The biggest thing that's going to be introduced is going to be the version 2 of the Obsidian stuff and the ship upgrades. So all the components. So getting your epic cannons and your mythic sails and stuff is a real thing.
I think something you're leaving out is they're adding a gold trader to Friedrich, which is going to be absolutely huge for the open world PvP you're talking about. There's going to be so many people trying to get packs in there because they're worth so much more. If you recall, up until this point, there's only been a gilded trader there, and with the addition to the gold trader, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on getting packs in there. It's going to be like 300-400 gold a trade ship.
Now, the one thing that I like about 1.7, correct me if I'm wrong, they're removing the fucking houses from there, so you got a boat ride over there.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
The islands surrounding Friedrich are gone as well.
So you literally have to risk it all now to get there. There's no.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm digging that. All right, so Friedrich is gonna be a free for all. So I know that we're getting a battleground. What is that? 24 versus. Well, I don't know the numbers, but it's faction versus faction versus faction. I'm assuming that's instance, right?
No.
Oh.
That is north of Aurora, right above Sungold.
So we just jump in there and we fight?
Yep.
It functions the same as Halcyona does. It pops at a certain time of day, and then everybody goes. There's 5 points in a big circle, and the faction that gets the most points and holds them for the longest wins.
And as I told you last night, Doc, that it shares tokens with Halcyona.
I like that. Okay, so a big question, right? This is a huge question. I if I spend money on this game, it's gonna be because I want to show off some of the stuff to my viewers. You know, if I go patron, it's because I want to show them. Because the crafting and the crafting system in ArcheAge is one of the most fun crafting systems I've ever done. I gotta be honest. Raising animals and all that fun shit, chopping down fucking trees. That was amazing there. But my question is this: can you survive and enjoy this game? And I want the realest answer you guys can give me. Can you enjoy this game without spending a dime?
At this point, 100%. You can,
definitely.
like I see on the screen, you have 1,600 gold. That's almost half of a Delphinat at this point. Delphinats are so cheap. You run tractor packs for like a week, 2 weeks. You have an end game weapon. Like, it's a very accessible game right now to free-to-play players.
Okay. So there is legit methods of making gold in game. Now I noticed the set of gear that I had when I played this game was fucking illustrious, and that shit was going for like 500 gold a pop. It's like 40 gold now and shit. I mean,
Yeah.
So from what I understand, everybody's rocking Serpentis gear. That's like the norm now. Serpentis is an instanced area where you can go with your guild and get this gear. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so
10-person.
Okay, so I mean, if I get my guild to level 50 and we don't spend one dime, we can go into Serpentis, run it, and get geared enough to compete with the bulk of the level 55s in existence.
Correct. I mean, I'm sure you recall a lot of people were pay to win in TT6 around launch. Like,
You motherfuckers, dude. God damn, dude.
Yeah,
I got a
large.
funny question for you guys. What is the most gold you guys have like ever had collectively? I gotta ask. I don't care how.
I had 90k once.
God damn! What the fuck? Dude! 90K! Okay, alright, I'm not mad. I'm not fucking mad. Okay, so that's cool then. So I'm level 50 right now. I can focus on getting my community up to level 50. We can go get Serpentis gear, and then we can go out and fight. Is Hasla gear still worth getting or not even trying?
I
No.
wouldn't skip that entirely. Don't do that.
When you run Serb drops plenty of new weapons and things from the last boss and from chests that are equal to Ethereum quality or higher. So I'd kind of focus on getting them stuff like that. Hasla is really just a really big grind that nobody likes.
And Hasla is just Ethereum weapons, and Ethereum weapons are pretty cheap.
What is in 1.7? That is gonna be fucking awesome. Now I've already
Boat
talked.
ramming.
Sorry.
Boat ramming.
Yes. Okay. Talk to me. Somebody break down 1.7. I don't need every single little detail, but what are some of the highlights that we're getting on Tuesday? Go for it. Any one of you guys.
It's a gold trader on Freeditch. Like, it's not permanent. It's only like an hour a day, like in game or something like that. So it's going to be very concentrated world PvP at those times.
Yeah, plus the boat upgrades and boat collision damage. Like, if you run your clipper up on the beach, you're gonna wreck it.
Yeah, the boats become extremely realistic. Every single thing on the boat is its own individual piece. So, like, you have an enemy boat rolling up beside you, you can shoot at their sails, and when their sail gets destroyed, their boat slows down because they don't have that sail anymore. You can shoot the rudder out and make it so they can't turn anymore. You can blow up the cannons on the deck. You can put harpoons on the deck and pull boats out of safe zones. I mean, it's just so much more stuff you can do with boats.
You can weigh down a boat too. Like, if you have too many people on a clipper, you can't like squeeze 20 people on a clipper. It's just not gonna move. It's gonna
Are you
sail.
fucking serious?
You can't have 100 people in a boat anymore. That's not a thing.
So wait a minute. If you can't have 100 people on a boat, then that means naval combat has to be naval combat now.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and a full merch ship can't have 100 people on it anymore. If you have a full merch ship with 20 packs on it, you're looking at about 5 people, or else you're moving slow as dirt.
Plus, there's also the open water ghost ship event thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna rewind just a little bit here, guys. What can a Patreon do, a paying sub, that a non-sub cannot do? What can I not do if I'm not paying the monthly sub to this
You
game?
can have a lot more labor, and you have action. You should really get it. You need the labor cap.
You get
and
the auction house anywhere
Right.
if you're a patron in 1.7 as well.
You don't have to run to an auction house. You just hit a button. There you are.
As a brand new player, because of the way you're talking about your community and everything, I'd say if anybody could afford their first month, they've been really good about introducing things. Like we're about to get an update that makes it so that we get 10 labor while offline instead of you having to be online all the time to regenerate your labor so you can make money. And Apex is so cheap that after you get that first month, you can easily continue to fund your character with Apex and keep your
Okay.
membership up.
I know you said you were looking forward to crafting again or whatever, and like, if you're looking to craft at any reasonable rate, like that's Patron's gonna be pretty big for that, considering how labor-heavy weapons are
As a
or
footnote to
anything.
that, what they did in the library patch is they made it so that you can craft up to Ethereum a lot lower. You don't need to get to like 30K. You can craft all the way up.
Yeah, they took the proficiency requirements off everything up to Mag.
Okay, so in 1.7, we're getting boat physics, we're getting boat customization. Are we getting Leviathan, the big fucking killer
No.
whale?
Well,
That's
that's
B.
1 point. Yeah, that's B.
Okay, that's B. But so we are getting it, just not now.
Yes.
Okay, so we're getting. Now I noticed that there were ranked arenas. Is that 1v1 or 5v5?
1v1.
Okay, all right. Those fun? I mean, I would assume so. I enjoyed
There
1v1
will be
arenas.
one because they're gonna
It's every
remove it.
arena is ranked. Like, if you win an arena, you get 4 points. If you lose an arena, you get 1 point.
And you're not going to be able to
There's no
AFK on
difference.
people.
Yeah,
They
right now
remove
people
that.
are AFKing people, but on Tuesday that's going away. They have to drop down.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Okay.
jerks on our server.
Okay, okay. So we're getting boat physics. We're getting this new free for all between the three factions area. The free ditch houses are going away, and you're gonna have to take your fucking fleet out to free ditch, be secure about it, drop off your packs, do what you gotta do, which is amazing. These are good changes. Now, talk to me about Archeum, guys. We know that this is a huge beef with a lot of people, right? I mean, are they really improving Archeum? I noticed a cash shop item last night. The fucking Archeum chest, dude.
Yeah. They opened some, like, there's gonna be new coin purses coming in the update, and there's like different tiers of them, and the highest tier they opened a couple, and like each one gave like all 3 types of Archeum, like a couple crystals, and that was just like a single coin purse. So if you're farming those and at any decent rate,
Right,
I
you're gonna
think
be leveling
Archeum's
up
gonna be
like
good.
yeah,
And
you'll be leveling up in library and Aurora, so you'll be getting a lot of those drops.
And like with you can focus all your Archeum into a particular type if that's what you want. If you want to craft weapons and you're opening all these coin purses and only getting Starlight, you can transform 10 Starlight shards into 1 Sunlight Archeum crystal. So that's definitely going to be a big fix.
Okay, Archeum is not improved, Doc. Please listen. It is not. What they said is that they increased Archeum. What they didn't say is that it's originally getting a 75% nerf. They are then buffing it to 50%, so it's decreasing by 25%. That's from Merked in the channel. I know he's a longtime ArcheAge player. Any comments on that?
Even if that's true, with the ability to transform Archeum into other types, it's going to even out the price a lot, because right now Sunlight Archeum a crystal is about 30 gold, and a Moonlight Archeum crystal is like 1 gold maybe. So it's gonna even out all the prices, and all the people that have been stockpiling Sunlight or Starlight Archeum, like myself, it's gonna even out price if anything, and it's definitely gonna bring the price down. It's not gonna all even up at 20, like 25, 30 gold a crystal.
Plus,
Whoa,
that's only the coin purses that they're talking about too.
did somebody
Yeah,
just
at
host me?
1.7, we
1,000
also get an
fucking
upgrade
viewers?
to the Archeum trees. The upgrade makes the
Who
trees
just hosted
so that
me,
they
dude?
can pop like resplendent trees and whatnot, where they go shiny and they can give
Hotted!
you crystals and shards.
Hotted,
They're not
thank
just
you
dust
so much for
anymore.
the host,
So,
brother.
you can get 5 or 6
Thank you,
crystals off the
Hotted.
tree.
Holy shit, dude.
Now, granted, that's every 8 hours or so, but I mean, that's a decent amount of Archeum right there that you'll be able to get. As well as the ovens that you can use to cook the crystals for the regrade rocks, to make like sun points and moon points so that you can regrade your armor.
Okay, okay. Now, what are we giving it? What are we getting? Did I miss anything that's significant in 1.7a? I mean, the new PvP zone, free ditch is changing, boats are changing. We're getting new trees and new coin purses and all of that stuff. What's up with the castles, dude? Are they still like shitty?
They're going to. No,
They're-
they're gonna be.
they're
They're
getting
gonna be
improved.
dealable.
Yeah, you can actually siege them now once this patch comes out. Also, there's PvP balancing. Like there's nerfs and buffs that are
Guys,
coming in
let's
the whole
get a
list.
link to Hottage channel. If you don't know who Hotted is, go fucking cry. All right, let's get a link to Hottage channel. Big time World of Warcraft streamer. Okay, so now I'm gonna open up the floor to some of my community members, and I see them in this channel. Some of them are livid about ArcheAge. I don't know if anything's changed, but let's see what you guys got. Does anybody have any questions for TT6? The guys that have been playing the game since I fucking left. Anybody here have questions? Incogni, go ahead.
Well, first, I'm insanely salty about ArcheAge. Second, have they done anything to fix the people hacking and everything being on the client side?
You mean
They-
you talking
they've
about packet
definitely-
injection?
They've cracked down on all that stuff a lot. I mean, a big thing that people hacked before was land grabs, and those are, I mean,
Thank you,
land
Abel
has
Knox.
really gotten destroyed in value. There's open 16s in a lot of zones. I know that was like a really big thing for people. Land is relatively easy to get at this point, and I mean, you still see like a couple bots here and there, like walking packs. It's not like rampant like it used to be.
They made it so that if you go too far beneath the y-axis on the map, then it instantly puts jail debuff on you, so you can't do anything. So, you know, have bots running packs under the map invisibly and dumpstering prices.
You can in 1.7 they're removing the AFK timer. So
No,
one
that's
of the
already
That's
gone.
already been removed. That was
Oh.
that was in the past patch.
so you're telling me that one of the biggest advantages to paying for this game is no longer an advantage.
You get double the labor, and you get a higher cap on labor. That's pretty significant. Never
Okay,
mind being
what's
able
the-
to use auction house.
Okay, I'm sorry. One more time. What's the online offline labor generation for a patron versus a non-patron? I'm sorry.
Right now, it's 10 online, 5 offline, and 1.7 will be 10 online, 10 offline, and a non-patron is 5 online, 0 offline.
Okay. So you're still getting more as a paying
Yes,
person.
very much so.
Okay.
So
okay,
basically, the labor generation for non-patrons is going to be the same.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Satando, what's your? Oh, you said cancel your X. Let's
Yeah.
go with Griffin.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, one of the things that really, really turned me off about the game was the preferential treatment that the people that invested a fair amount of money into the game. I had a passing contact that was in Foe who took a lot of advantage of that whole Apex collect thing, where they managed to turn 40 Apex into like 120, and the grand total punitive action was a 1-day ban, and they got to keep the stuff. Are they cracking down more on the people that are doing egregious hacking and exploits and other things?
Oh,
or,
yeah,
or is it
definitely.
really like, no, I spent $5,000, you're not gonna ban my account?
Oh, that's gone. Yeah, there's hasn't really been any exploits as far as I'm aware of for the past while, and if you buy gold and let it sit in your inventory, it'll be gone soon. Like they'll just take the gold. They don't ban you for buying gold. They just straight take the gold, and obviously you don't get a refund on your money or anything.
Well, that's good to hear.
They'll
They
take the
don't.
armor if you go to buy like a set of armor with it. They'll take the
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah, they absolutely slaughtered gold bots. Like, they went on a hunt for them. You know, the average amount of money for, like, a Delph went from being 40k to, you know, we're looking at 5k right now. And it was just because they killed all the gold bots. There was no gold in the game, hardly. Which made it easier for the average guy to gear up.
You can even see it in gold prices. The lowest I ever saw 1,000 gold was $6, and in a month, maybe, of them cracking down, it went to almost $50 per 1k. Like that's a huge increase.
Which is right in line with just buying risk-free Apex and turning that into gold.
Exactly.
Satando, go ahead.
What's the best way to make money on this game now?
Depending on the risk and your RNG, fishing can be the best. If you're pulling in multiple gargs, gargantuan fish, every hole, that's going to be your moneymaker. You're looking about 200 to 300 gold up a fishing hole if your RNG is good. But if your RNG is so-so or not very good, then trade packs are just going to overtake it. Obviously, there's next to no risk running trade packs, so that's always going to be a plus for new players or even old players. So I usually go with trade packs due to
1.7,
the
you also
security.
have sunken ships. That's also another fun one.
Yep, swimming around the water.
Are the submarines still as useless as they were beforehand?
They're
don't have
not
them
out
yet.
yet. They're getting
They're totally
getting
in
reworked.
revamp. Yeah, they're in
Yeah.
revamp mode along with player nations. That's all like back to the drawing board in Korea.
Sweet.
No, they said
'Cause-
submarines are coming 1.7, or 1.7B. They wanted to see how like War on the Water is going and then tune them towards that.
Nice. Okay, so here's the big question that I know people have. Is PvP in this game pay to win? And if not, why not?
It is. That's obviously not going to change. The people that did exploit the Apex or just extremely pay to win, I mean, they benefited from that and they dealt with it very poorly, so they still have those items. I mean, there's always going to be in this game people that have paid ridiculous amounts of money and are extremely ahead of regular players.
There's a huge handful of players that are into the tens of thousands of dollars they've spent in this game. And it's not even like an overestimate, it's just the truth. There's a lot of players on Olo that spent over 10K on this game.
Okay, now here's the follow-up to that. Is it possible for a slightly under-geared player to kill a higher-geared player?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Okay,
Even
so skill still plays a
been
win.
running
plays
around
a-
a lot.
Aurora, killing 54.
A lot of these pay-to-win players are really, really bad and don't have very much skill.
And there's also a paper rock scissors aspect where class X beats class Y, so on and so forth. That you could be their counter and you could beat them. They may be awful. Your group may be better than their group overall, and you'll win. There's a lot of things to consider when you say, can you beat a player that paid a lot?
Gotcha, fair enough. Were there any other questions that I missed? Are there any other X's, guys?
I still have a question.
Okay, go ahead, and then I'll look in my channel here.
What about all the changes that you don't like? I seriously doubt they actually learn from everything and flip everything over in just a couple of weeks. There must be something that you don't agree how they've done so far.
RNG
Or will
boxes
they
still
be doing-
exist.
Yeah, RNG boxes suck.
They need to kill that. Like, I really like aspects of Korea's marketplace, how like the Pegasus, all the cool mounts that a lot of people would like to just straight up pay for, like myself. You have to buy RNG boxes, and I've had zero luck with those in the past. And to this day, I've never gotten the RNG item out of the box. And there's no other option besides save up 625 loyalty, which is like half or a third of a year.
Yeah, if
So-
you want a Pegasus, the sure way is to just save up loyalty, so it gives you an out. But it's like that RNG boxes, they cost so much, and you kind of get relative crap out of them.
So when we say RNG boxes, I've got the market open right now.
The Devilish chest and the Celestial Archeum thing that you have at the top of that first screen, those are the RNG chests that are out right now.
Okay, and those need to go the fuck away.
Yes,
Yeah.
they just need
Fuck
to
those
put
things.
the items that are on the cash shop, so you can buy it. That's what I'm saying.
Are they doing anything for returning free-to-play players or the subs? Anything at all that you guys know of?
They did a package, and it might still be active. I'm not sure it is, but basically they did a thing to coax players back when they did the library release, where if you were a patron, you got a package of free stuff, and I think free play got a different package.
No.
You'd have to log into your account to see if you have it addable.
I think
On
it,
the
it's-
webpage?
it may
Yeah,
be
it expired. It expired
is
at
it?
the end of that month. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if you're a returning player and you really disliked a lot of the things that they had done wrong in the beginning, one nice thing is they started to communicate with the players. Every Friday they do a live stream with the producers, and they just show everybody all the new stuff that we're getting and what they're working on, and they kind of answer questions, which is really nice because before we had no transparency between Tryon and XL and all that good stuff, and now they try to communicate with us more.
I'm getting the question of, do you run out of mana after 10 seconds still in this game?
As a healer, or?
I don't know.
It depends who's innervating you.
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, if you have like a bunch of people using Innervate on you, like you said, you'll run out of mana in a lot faster than 10 seconds, but that's kind of specific.
Can you still find open land in this game? We all remember what it was at launch.
Yeah,
It's a lot better than it was in
We
launch.
see stuff crop up all the time in Aurora. Maybe not so much on mainland, but Aurora, it's a lot easier to get land up there. But even on mainland, we see 16s expire, go up all the time.
If you put some work in and just go look around on all the housing zones, you're pretty much guaranteed to find some land. I was in Windscour the other day, and there was like 2 24 by 24 land areas just open.
Okay,
And,
now
like,
I just want to comment really quickly on some of the whispers that I'm getting and some of the comments in Twitch chat. Everybody is entitled to their opinion on TT6 and on me and on any guild in the game. I don't judge people based off of the guild tag that they wear. I judge them based on how they interact with me. And personally, although TT6 may have done this and may have done that and may have done this, they've always been stand up with me. Have we kissed each other's ass? No. Have they blocked my guild? Yes. Do they know what the fuck they're talking about? Well, you be the judge of that with these answers that they're giving us. The fact of the matter is, these gentlemen are spending personal time helping me help you guys understand what ArcheAge is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I totally respect, you know, what you guys may or may not feel, but at the end of the day, these guys have never done me wrong, and they've been stand up. They've been more stand up than people from my own fucking guild formerly. Burn. All right, so we'll just leave it. We'll just leave that at that. I don't plan on, you know, I'm not making love to nobody. They ain't making love to me. It's for a common cause, right? Obviously, they want people to give ArcheAge a shot. They want you guys to come back. Let's be frank here. You know what I'm saying? As far as what the questions that they're answering, overall, the questions have been mostly positive, but they have stated openly what ArcheAge needs to do to further improve on the game. There still is an RNG here that nobody likes, and they need to westernize that completely and give us that, because that's still a Korean aspect of ArcheAge that we don't like. In 1.7, I mean, the Archeum is supposed to be fixed. Whatever that percentage is, it's supposed to be fixed. So, now okay, somebody asked, how is the community right now in ArcheAge?
Salty.
Yeah.
Still salty?
Pretty,
Okay.
Oh yeah, very very much so.
Yeah, I mean, what we're trying to do is get a lot of people to show up for the faction events, and we're probably the wrong people to headline that because of how people feel about us. So we're just trying to, you know, help those. We try to get the Halcyonas organized, and what people don't realize is those Halcyona tokens, those are going to go for the Mist Marrow event that's going to be coming out as well. The share tokens, it's good to start saving them up right now.
All right, so we've been saying a lot of positive things about ArcheAge. In a nutshell, what is ArcheAge still doing wrong, guys? What is it still doing wrong that, as of right now, has no fix in sight just yet?
The whole pay to win aspect, in my opinion. The RNG boxes are just, they make so many people depressed. Like, they spend hundreds of dollars and don't get what they want. Like, I don't know. I don't know any other company that where you spend hundreds of dollars and you feel worse about spending your money than you did before you spent it.
Now, when we say pay to win, can you elaborate on that? I'm showing off the chests right now, and I understand that completely. Give me the pay to win nitty gritty for the viewers.
The boxes aren't exactly pay to win, but what people do is they'll buy Apex, you know, whatever. Someone has a lot of money, they go throw down $200 in Apex. They take the Apex, they sell it on the auction hall, and they get a bunch of gold with those items. And then they take the gold and they buy, you know, all the best items in the game. There's players in the game that do this with thousands of dollars, so they literally just pay cash to get the best crafted items in the game. Like they didn't do anything. They didn't do any work. They didn't, farm anything. They just straight up used their credit card to get the best gear in the game.
Yeah, and if they're not doing that, there's still some scuzzy stuff that goes on under the table where somebody's like trying to sell a tier 6 obby weapon or something, and they'll just like ship PayPal money to somebody for it instead of having it go through the game because gold's so hard to get
But
hold.
they've done a lot better job. Like I actually did quit the game for about a month, and I was just really upset because they basically made any sort of income in the game obsolete. You basically were forced to go buy gold from a third-party site if you wanted anything. Everything like Delphin ads were like 30 to 60,000 gold. You get like 10 to 20 gold for a trade pack. You run packs for like 5 months, and you might be able to afford a Delphin head weapon. Like, it was just crazy. Like,
Yeah, now I can run trade packs for a month and easily afford a Dolphin ad and then some.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. So basically, what has changed for the good is the cost, the economy. So the economy is improved. I mean, because that really did bother me. It was like, dude, I'm never gonna fucking afford top end gear. So what you're telling me is, if you play this MMO the way you would play most MMOs, you can get high end gear.
Yep, you sure can.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now, someone has a question, and I know a lot of us did this. Glost, I do remember you. I play this game at endgame a lot like Farmville. These are their words. I log in, I chop down trees, chop, chop, chop. I do a little bit of gathering. I let my cubs make love, whatever the fuck. And then that's it, because I don't particularly enjoy PvP. What is there to do at, I'm assuming he means endgame. What do you do at endgame if you're not PvPing?
I mean, that's the huge draw of this game is the PvP. It's the player-driven
it's
content.
a PvP game.
They actually have, in this new patch, it's a competition for farmers.
And there's fishing competitions in-game right now.
It's a weekly or monthly event. I don't know how they have the time cycle set up, but it's basically it judges you off of the Xperia plants. You can grow Xperia, and they have they can be one of 3 different grades, and it's basically a farming competition to see who can grow like the radiant Xperia, the best Xperia. So I mean that's kind of like a PvE like farming competition. There's nothing to do with PvP or anything.
Yeah, and every Saturday currently there's a fishing competition as well.
Yeah, and every Saturday there's a fishing competition, and they're gonna have a few other competitions. Like one of them revolves around gear score, which is basically like a pay-to-win score.
And there's also the library bosses and Serpentis and 10-man Dahudas. I'm sure you have guildies that need help running. I mean, you can bard for them, you can heal for them, you can DPS for them, whatever.
And it's really easy to gear people up. If you have a group of 55s, you can basically get any class gear set in Serpentis, and it's pretty easy to go through that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, just like Final Fantasy XIV, we revisited Final Fantasy XIV, and we learned that game is heavy PvE, right? It's got PvP, but that's not the selling point of the game. I don't think anybody in this TeamSpeak would disagree that ArcheAge, it's about the PvP, baby, all right? There's PvE, there is PvE, but that's not the selling point of the game. The selling point of the raid is not the dungeons, not the raids. They're there and they can be enjoyable, but it's the fucking Haslas, the Halcyonas, the naval combat, the Friedich, going out and trying to compete with the opposing faction, or the same faction for the fucking Kraken, or the Leviathan when he comes out. What's this ghost ship shit that I hear about? Have you guys heard about the ghost ship?
Yeah, it's like a world event, and like it doesn't drop loot; it just actually drops gold. I think it may drop something.
No, I think they can drop a trade pack that you can turn in a free deck when you kill it.
It drops a buff too, right?
Yeah, there's ghost ships that will be sailing around randomly, and I think there's different grades of ships. Like some are stronger than others, and basically you just have to like kill it, and it drops like a little thing you can collect, get different stuff from. And also there's a new, how we have the rifts? Well, like in Crimson Rift, there's a rift, it's called Kraken on a Pole. It's north of Friedich. It's like a mini event where you have to kill Kraken on like a lighthouse pole, and then after you kill him, he drops packs that turn in, I think, for something like 70 gold a piece. He drops a bunch of packs that everybody has to get and then go turn them in for money. So it's kind of like a a PvP event like Rift style that happens every, I don't know if it's every day or every 4 hours, however they do it.
Okay, now
And
is
that's-
the red dragon in that big ass dragon? Is he in the game?
He's
Oh yeah, he is.
Has anybody killed him?
No, we tried the other night.
Is
He's,
he seriously that hard?
He's very
Yeah,
hard.
it's-
yeah.
It drops
really
the best
hard.
weapon in the game.
Yeah, he drops, the best
Iron
assault
quality.
weapons.
So wait, you
From-
mean I could go to where he is right now and he's there just standing there like fuck you?
Oh,
He
he
doesn't
flies
stand, he
around.
flies around.
He flies around?
He
Yeah.
flies around the map of Carcassia.
Yeah.
Dragon, man, do you really expect him to stay on the ground?
I mean, he's
Yeah,
probably
is
yeah,
he
dude. He's
there?
fucking having sex
He's
with
got-
girl dragons. I don't fucking know.
Dragons are the masters of the skies. You really can't expect them to permanently ground themselves when
Yeah, we can go
they
check if
love
he's
to
there.
fly.
All right,
I'm
but
opening up a port.
here's an important question. Now we all know that in ArcheAge there were probably I would say what 10 to 15 decent classes that you could rig them around and make them worth it. Does 1.7 or the level 55 cap that was introduced recently open up the game and the classes, or not really?
Yes.
Yeah, there's still some
Definitely.
bad classes. I mean, you're not going to expect all 120 combinations to be
Right.
good.
I mean, I'm not gonna be what am I right now? A fiend hunter? What am I? What? Let me see.
You're a flesh hunter. Or
No,
something
I'm a
like that.
fiend hunter. Archery, sorcery, and battle rage.
Wow, that's awful.
Yeah. There.
No, it's not on purpose. I promise.
Hey, that's one thing I was going to ask. Are the cookie cutter classes still the best class combinations to run in the game?
I would say that there's new cookie cutter classes, and the old ones are still good. Primeval, Stark Runners, all good.
Abolishers.
Also-
Still.
Also,
Abolishers
this
good,
next patch
Paladin's
has
good, Templar's good.
this next patch on Tuesday has buffs for some classes and debuffs for some. Everyone's favorite Mudhand and Innervate combo is getting nerfed. You
Now,
talking about
I
questions
hear there's a new
Talking about-
producer
yeah.
in the game. What happened there? New producer?
Yeah, there's a new producer. He's actually in Outcry Guild on Olo. He plays on this server. I don't know if you guys remember Repent. He played this game. He's the new producer. He's done a lot of good things for the game.
Wait. Repent is a producer?
Yes.
He's the ArcheAge producer.
Wait, what? How the fuck did that happen?
That's Krolin. If you watch the live streams, that's him.
Was he always the producer?
No, he was working on the game before, and he got hired like I think around the time you stopped playing. A lot of people didn't know it was him till recently.
Holy shit! I remember Repent. Wasn't he the guild leader of Outcry?
Well, he was in
No,
the
he was
guild.
one of the leaders.
He
Well,
was
he's
like one of the
One of
first
them, right?
people to make like all those Delphin ads in the beginning. He was the first like Archmaster in the game. So he's like very, very well known. Like he knows everything about the game. So he's really like doing a lot of good for the game.
So, like, is he an actual producer that helps produce the game, or is he just like a community producer?
No, he's a producer.
Yeah, he's a producer. He, talks with XL Games. He does he does a lot of. I think he's made a lot of changes in the game for the good.
So he's been officially hired by Tryon to help make the game better.
Yep, he's
Yeah,
on.
he's-
Yep, he's
he's
on the
in the
live
live stream
streams
every Friday.
Every Friday, he's the one who goes over all the new content and
He sits right next to Escapes.
like the RNG boxes. Like they made new ones. They put like better stuff in them because they were giving a lot of trash, like potions and food and just stuff we don't need anymore. Like he basically like handpicked what he wanted in the new RNG boxes, which were like useful stuff. So he has direct hands-on with the game.
That's awesome. I mean, that's really cool. I gotta say that's really cool because it's nice that it's nice that they picked someone who's playing the game. You know what I mean? Someone who's playing the game and who knows what the hell is going on. That's been really cool. That really is cool.
And I think a lot of the regrading changes are happening because of him. He's firsthand shared with us how frustrating regrading is and how just he finds it just terrible. And I think a lot
Thank
of
you, Duck.
Yeah, I think he's had a hand in changing things for the good.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. So again, TT6 will go down the line for all of you guys. I think it's only fair that we do this. Down the line from the top to the bottom. What's your favorite part about ArcheAge? what keeps you playing, not counting your friends. So we'll start from, I think Cupcake is the first TT6. Well, go ahead, Cup.
He's microphone.
Or not. We'll go with D Nasty.
He said PvP and drama and shit.
What keeps me going in ArcheAge are the tears. Everyone cries. They just keep me going.
I figured that coming from TT6, right?
Like when I troll people and I see them just cry, it just makes me smile inside.
You bad person.
I'm a really evil person. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
So you're the one that drinks the tears of noobs.
So real quick,
yeah.
before I go down the line, if you're watching the channel, I will be getting on my level 1 and just going through the motions. I'm gonna give a huge tutorial about the game because there's a lot that you don't know about the game. I'm gonna give you the full rundown after I talk with TT6. After I give you the full rundown of ArcheAge, of TT6, of ArcheAge, then I'm going to hop on my level 1. I'm going to play some music in the background. I'm going to get on TeamSpeak with you, my amazing community, and we're going to level. We're just going to level and have fun and talk shit and fuck around for the remainder of the stream. And like I said, this week I will be revisiting ArcheAge. You will see ArcheAge beginning on Tuesday. I'm off on Mondays, as you guys know, because of school. But I will be back on Tuesday. ArcheAge all day on Tuesday. And then the rest of the week will be Guild Wars 2 and ArcheAge, okay? So we're going... And if you need an invite to the guild, whisper me right now. I will make my level 1 an officer so she can invite. But whisper me Docgotgame and I will get you taken care of. If not, don't worry about it. I'll be able to invite you on my level 1. Alright, so we're on Gray and then Impunity and then Max. What do you enjoy about ArcheAge?
I definitely have to say, there's plenty of games where you can get out there and you can fight Zerg PvP and you can do all that stuff, but there's really no game that goes out there and has ArcheAge's kind of naval combat that you can really compare to. Whether it's combat where you're out there doing the Kraken and stuff and you're ramming boats into the Kraken and you're fighting over it, or you're fighting a merch ship for some packs, I don't really think there's another game that really has that kind of action in it, and that's really what keeps me on the game.
And just to comment on that, I mean, the naval combat was easily one of my favorite aspects of the game. What I didn't like was how easily it was to turn it into a melee fest again. I really like the changes that they're making in 1.7 to where, like we talked about, you're not going to be able to put 30 fucking people on a clipper and immediately board a vessel. You're going to have to work, for the fight, and I really like that. I really like that.
And cannons actually do damage with 1.7. Cannons can actually blow up a ship before they can run away now. You can upgrade your cannons, you can upgrade your sails, you can upgrade everything. You can get higher damage. You regrade your weapon and it gets stronger. You can regrade your cannons and all that good stuff.
The guild is for anybody that wants to join. The guild is for anybody that wants to join. You don't have to be a subscriber of my channel. It's going to be very casual, very fun. We're not taking part in no drama, no forum e-peens. We're just going to level together. We're going to go out. We're going to get some good fights. And we'll see how much we enjoy ArcheAge. Don't spend any money on this game if you don't want to. Let's see if the free-to-play is as enjoyable as people say it is. I might go ahead and go patron just so I, as the streamer, can show you guys the gathering and the crafting and the farming and the bear cub raising and all that good shit there. Ooh, car! Wait, car! Gotta get off this fucking mount! Oh, no! Get out, Mongolian, let me in!
Jump up, Doc.
Wait, how do I get in? I'm in! Okay, who were we on, TT6? Talk to me. Why do you like the game?
Are you done, Gray?
Yeah, I'm finished.
It's the only game I can find that I can enter my credit card number and feel important.
Oh god.
That was beautiful.
Wow, dude. Well done.
Single tier.
Well done, bro. Well done. Who's next, TT6? Who's next?
I don't think there's any other games like ArcheAge right now out there, and they're finally starting to listen to us, I think, and it's up to us to shape the game the way we want it to be. You know what I mean? The community.
Yeah. On behalf of the Doc Nation, TT6, I don't give a fuck what they say about you guys in game. Thank you as people for coming on here and educating us. Thank you so much, you guys.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Yep.
We'll see you in
Hey-
game when you're
hey,
blocking
Doc.
my fucking carts, okay?
Hey, Doc,
You better.
What's up? Go for Doc.
when are we going to the strip club?
Where, in real life? Oh, D Nasty. I got your Skype. That's you on Skype, right?
Nope.
Oh.